Welcome to episode 187 of the Business Development Podcast. And today we're chatting all about client gifting, how to do it, what are the best gifts to give, how do we buy them, how do we schedule them, how do we logistically handle this complex task, and should you or should you not even give Christmas gifts to your clients? Stick with us. You are not going to want to miss this episode.
The great Mark Cuban once said, "Business happens over years and years. Value is measured in the total upside of a business relationship, not by how much you squeezed out in any one deal." And we couldn't agree more. This is the Business Development Podcast, based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and broadcasting to the world. You'll get expert business development advice, tips and experiences, and you'll hear interviews with business owners, CEOs, and business development reps. You'll get actionable advice on how to grow business. Brought to you by Capital Business Development, capitalbd.ca. Let's do it. Welcome to the Business Development Podcast. And now your expert host, Kelly Kennedy.
Hello, welcome to episode 187 of the Business Development Podcast. And today we're going to chat all about the gift of giving and how do we give Christmas gifts to clients, to people we care about, to colleagues in 2024 and beyond. I know there's a lot of you out there who struggle with how the heck do I handle Christmas with my clients, with my employees, with my colleagues, whatever you want to do. And today we're going to chat all about it because, guys, I've been giving client Christmas gifts for my entire business development career, literally from like year one on. I recognized how important it was to give back. And it didn't matter who I worked with, what clients I worked with. It was always part of our process, part of our plan. And I'm hoping today to entice you to make it part of your plan, especially as we're starting to be more personal, more connected or reconnected with the people around us. Because at the end of the day, guys, business is about people. Your clients are people, and we need to find ways to connect with them. Before we get started, though, I wanted to take some time and just thank each and every one of you who's reached out to me recently about the video posts that I have started making on LinkedIn, guys. You know, we've talked about this a lot. Video is something that for me, I have struggled immensely with. I am challenging myself to be more out there. I am challenging myself to be more vulnerable. And my gosh, do I ever appreciate the support from you guys as we put out more videos, both on the Business Development Podcast and for me personally. It is important, guys. The reality is the world is changing. Video is going to be a very major part of 2025. There is a shift that is happening, people. And what that shift is a need for genuine human connection. And video is an incredible way to create meaningful, genuine human connection, human interaction. All of these videos, guys, they spur off into large conversations, large comment chains, you name it. It's literally a conversation that starts from every single video that you guys put out there. It is huge. It is going to be a differentiator for those that are brave enough to try it in 2025 and beyond. And guys, we've talked about this on the show 1,000 times. I have struggled with stage fright, performance anxiety, fear of video, you name it. It's so funny. You know, if you were to go back to the beginning of this show, I had an interview very early on with Jesse Shuchuk, an incredible video trainer right here in Edmonton. I've had Lesser Jorgensen, incredible videographer right here in Edmonton. I've talked with plenty of incredible videographers who have been like, Kelly, just try video. Like, you would be incredible at it. You just got to go for it. But, you know, it's one thing to say that, and I completely understand that it's a whole nother thing to actually put yourself out there in front of that camera, be vulnerable, edit it, put it out to the world. So guys, I know that for me, that is going to be a personal hurdle that I am going to overcome in 2025. I'm making that statement to you guys right now. It scares me shitless, right? It is not something that I am super psyched about. But it is something that I'm going to get better at. And you know, I did put out a challenge, which was super fun. And you know what? Quite a few of you took me up on it and then put out your own videos and tagged me back in them. My gosh, incredible. The rockstar listenership we have on the show, you guys are all amazing. I could not do this show without such an incredibly supportive community. I am blessed to have the business development podcast community, my community of rock stars, each and every one of you guys. I am honored, blessed, you name it. Could not do this show without you. But the support that we got from that, and obviously the shared support back and forth, we are going to help each other. We are going to build each other up, and we are going to support each other into 2025 and beyond. And so each of you out there who took me up on that challenge, saw me struggling with my own video, and went for it on your own, you are incredible. You are amazing. Keep it up. It's going to be a differentiator for you in 2025. It's funny, guys. I was talking with, fellow sponsor of the show, Colin Harms. Me and him have become really great friends over the past couple of years here. He's been a supporter of the show since like episode 21. So funny. He sent me a motivational video on episode 21. And at that time, I'm not really sure how I was feeling about the show, but I think I was struggling with it. I think like many early level podcasters. And it was so funny because what it was saying was, hey, congratulations. 21 shows puts you in the top 1% of podcasts who stick with it worldwide. And I thought that was pretty incredible. He didn't know it at the time, but it was pretty meaningful. And I think it really did motivate me to keep going. And crazy, guys, episode 187. It's a hell of a lot further than 21, but it's support like that that has allowed me to keep going. And that's kind of what I wanted to portray here, is show you, is that the right thing to say to somebody or the right level of motivation can be the difference between the day that person quits trying or the day that person gives it one more go and, starts something incredible. So to each and every one of you out there who maybe are planning to start something incredible in 2025, just go for it. Understand that it's not 187 episodes all at once. It's one episode at a time. It's one video at a time. It's 1 week at a time. As long as you are consistent with it, it 100% adds up to success for you over time. And so I want each and every one of you to remember that. And I want you guys to go for it. I really want you guys to go for it. Even if it scares the bejesus out of you, it scares me too, okay? I'm scared of the next steps. There's always something that I'm not experienced in that scares me because I know that as I go down this path, I'm going to have to start doing things that continue to make me uncomfortable to grow. The funny thing is, the things that are holding me back from being, the next level of incredible are the things that scare me the most. The things that are holding me back from that next step of success are almost always the things that I'm scared to do. And for some of you, that's making your cold calls. For some of us, that's having to jump from audio to video. For some of us, maybe that's recording our very first audio and having to listen back to ourselves for the very first time. That's a humbling moment, let me tell you. For real, guys, for real. We're all struggling with something. There's always something that's in our way, but I want you to think about this. The thing that you are struggling with the most is probably the thing that's holding you back from the next level of success you want to attain. More often than not, that's the case. And so we may have to step up to the plate. And today, I'm kind of letting you guys know, for me, it's creating video. That's stepping up to the plate for me. That's doing the thing that I'm super uncomfortable with, that I've been uncomfortable with for a long time, that even though I've had a podcast for years at this point, I haven't, been able to take that next leap because of my own personal fears, my own feelings about myself and video and whatever else. So understand, I am going to take that step. I've already taken that step. So many of you have commented on it, encouraged me. I appreciate it immensely. I am by no means a pro. I might look like it on TV, but I'm not. I am learning. I am doing the best that I can. But that's each and every one of us, right? None of us are great at something when we first start out at it. We get better and better and better over time. But if we never start, we have no opportunity to get better. So for those of you who have plans for 2025, maybe you're like me, you're going to try to do more video. Maybe you're going to start a podcast of your own. Maybe you're just going to make some more cold calls or, commit to the active marketing process we talk about on the show. Whatever it is, take that first step. It really is the differentiator. All right, we've had our motivational moment. Let's get into it, guys. Christmas, one of my favorite times of the entire year. Probably one of your favorite times as well if you're anywhere in North America. A lot of people celebrate Christmas. Understand, if you do not celebrate Christmas, this is also completely okay. Everything that I'm going to talk about today is still relevant because likely, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, many people around the world still recognize Christmas, understand the value and the personal connection of it. So everything we are going to talk about today is still very much relevant, even if you may not celebrate Christmas. I'm going to start this out just like that. I have been a fan of giving clients Christmas gifts my entire career, guys. Clients, they give to me all year long. The reality is I don't have a podcast if I don't have sponsors. I don't have a business development company if I don't have clients who want business development. Guys, clients, they look after me. They look after my business. They look after my family. They help me look after my family. Clients are incredible. They become great friends. Some of them are incredible friends, incredible people that I am blessed to know. Guys, we have this amazing opportunity once per year at Christmas to show our clients what they mean to us. And there's so many of you out there who are refusing to take that opportunity. And I understand for some of you, you're refusing to take that opportunity because maybe the companies you work for have horrible corporate gifting policies that we're going to talk about here. But for those of you who are running your own companies, you're working with, various organizations, various people. Now, there's no excuse at this point in time for you not giving client gifts. Understand, they do not have to be expensive. They have to be meaningful. The secret to giving client gifts is to just being genuine, authentic, and meaningful and showing a client that, hey, my gosh, you look after me all year long. I sure appreciate you. Let me start by saying right off the bat that giving clients Christmas gifts is not bribery. And I feel like there's a lot of corporate policies out there, anti-bribery policies, that basically state that employees of a company cannot accept any gifts typically from another company as part of their anti-bribery policy. Now, let me just I hate this. I think it is so ridiculous because let me just start out. If I give you like a $25 or a $50 gift, whatever it is, do you think that that is going to be the main difference between you picking my company and another company for a service in the next year? My answer to that is bullshit. Bullshit. It is not bribery to give a normal Christmas gift to a client. So for those of you who are having to struggle within those horrible policies, I completely understand, worked within them for years. Understand too, most of them do have a minimum that is okay. So if they actually go back and they look at the policy, most policies state that you cannot accept a gift worth more than $25 or something like that, whatever it be. Who cares? If that's their policy and you talk to your client and they say, we have a $25 gift policy, buy them a $25 gift and a card and say thank you. At the end of the day, it's not about the gift. That's what I want you guys to take away from this episode. Client gifts is not about the gift. It's about the meaning. It's about showing them, hey, I'm a human being, a person who appreciates you and what you do for me, my business, my organization throughout the year. And this is how, in this one moment, that I'm going to let you know that. It is an incredible opportunity to build a genuine human-to-human connection with your client in a completely normal and appreciated way. Now, understand, first off, bribery is real. So we are going to talk about bribery quickly because I do want to straighten that out. A Christmas gift is not a bag full of money. It is not a new car. It is not a paid vacation for your client to somewhere in the Bahamas. Okay, that might be bribery. That is a whole nother level of something. Okay, that is not what we are talking about today. We are talking about genuine, real client Christmas gifts. This is going to be something personal, something meaningful, maybe some branded items, maybe something you picked up at the store. It's probably going to be a couple $100 tops. We're not talking a bag of money, okay? Let me just clarify that right now for any of you who are saying oh, well, this sounds like bribing. It is not bribing. Client Christmas gifts are not bribing. Bribing is, like I said, bag of money, giving a car. And yes, there are plenty of companies who do this. And yes, it is bribing. They have expectations with it. That is the difference between a client Christmas gift and a bribe. Everything that I'm going to talk about today comes with no expectations on your behalf. We give because it is the right thing to do, because it is a nice thing to do, because we are showing our appreciation. We are not gifting with expectation in return. We are gifting because we want to, because it is the right thing to do as a company for a client who has given us so much. Remember, they've already given to you. The clients have already given to you by giving you their business, by looking after you, by looking after your family, okay? This is just an opportunity for you to give back, no strings attached. Remember, we give with no expectations in return. Client gifts are a meaningful way to show appreciation once per year. Now, I give with nothing expected in return. My clients chose me, trusted me, supported me throughout the year. And Christmas is my opportunity and my turn to give something back, no strings attached. So that's the key, guys. Client Christmas gifts are a no strings attached situation. We do it from the bottom of our heart. And we're going to talk about today the steps that I have used with not just my company, but various companies I've worked with, because I know this can start to feel like a challenging thing to manage, but understand it does not have to be crazy expensive. It does not have to be very hard to manage. There are many easy ways to handle Christmas gifts for employees, clients, colleagues at Christmas. But we have to essentially think about how we are going to do it, what are the best things to pick up for them, and how do we facilitate essentially the logistics of getting them the gift. If we can do all this properly, it does not have to be hard. It can actually be fairly easy. And if we do it right, heck, we might even get everything to them on time. Okay, so I know I have some of you now who are saying, okay, Kelly, I get it. This makes sense. At the end of the day, our clients give to us all year long. Christmas is an incredible opportunity to show them we care, to show them that they matter to us by giving back to them. That is really what this is about. Every company on earth should be doing this, by the way. Every single company on earth should be giving something back to their clients to show them that they appreciate them. Companies that have policies that do not do this, in my mind, are just cheap. I have no other way about it. They don't care about people. Everything is just a transaction. Giving back to your clients is about showing them that you value them, that you want to build genuine connection with them, that you genuinely care that they chose you. That is what it is about. How do we do it? Incredible. Okay. Number one, we need to print out our customer list for the year, guys. We always give to clients that worked with us over the past year. You may or may not choose to give to past clients as well. There might be past clients who've just become really great friends. Remember, there are no rules. There are no rules for how to give client Christmas gifts at Christmas. Okay, guys? So I don't feel like, oh, they have to be current clients. No, they don't have to be current clients. They can be past clients. They can be colleagues. They can be friends. Whatever you want. It's your company, your choice on how you're going to do it. But we need to create a list. And so I think for most of us, a great place to start is by hopping on our accounting software or whatever we're using to track our clients and figure out who have been our clients over the past year, okay? Once we can identify all the companies, then we need to identify the personnel that we worked with at those companies, because those are the people that we are going to give Christmas gifts to. They're the people that we interact with. They're the people who gave us the business to begin with. Those are the people that we want to start generating meaningful relationships with, okay? So once we create the full company list, I want you to then go back in and start to put, the key employee that you worked with at each of those organizations. Now, for those of you who've worked with multiple employees at the organizations, you may have to choose, depending on what your budget is. Like, I don't know what your Christmas budget is. There's no rules for that either. So depending on what your budget is, you may need to narrow that down to the top 2 or 3 people that you worked with on a consistent basis over the year. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. We did that for years when I worked at an inspection firm. When you work with lots of different places, sometimes you have to narrow it down to the top people. So don't be afraid to narrow that list at every company to say the top 2 or 3 people that you worked with throughout the year that you would like to give back to, okay? Now, over the years, I've created this list using Excel. You guys can use a pen and paper. You can use Excel. You can use any type of tracking sheet that you guys want. Just make sure that you are able to list it out for you. You need the company, you need the names, and you need the various locations for you to be able to ship those gifts to, okay? This list will also serve as your gift allocation tracker in the end. So we also want to leave a spot where we can write what we gave to each of these people so that we can remember ourselves what we gave them and have a list somewhere showing who got what last Christmas. We want to make sure too that the addresses of the individuals is also on that list. Now, for many companies, you can just send it to the main place of business. You can drop it off in the main place of business. But for those of us who work across the nation, like me, I'm typically shipping things. Make sure that you are getting the address of the individuals, whether that be their home address, depending on how close you are with them, or whether that be the company address at their location. Number 2, once we have this list completely created, this is where the fun starts. You will likely have a number of gifts that you know you need, whether that's 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100. I don't know how big your company is. Take your pick, guys. But you'll have a list of the number of Christmas gifts that you will need to give that year. So now it is time to buy our gifts. And guys, the more personal we can get with these gifts, the better. I'll give you some examples. When I launched the Business Development Podcast, the initial sponsors, I know many of them had an interest in audio. And so for the gifts that I gave my very first year of the Business Development Podcast, I gave microphones. I literally went to the store. I got high-end USB microphones. They were, a few $100 each, whatever they were. And I sent them out to all the sponsors of the show that year. Now, understand, I'm trying to relate it. I'm trying to make something that is genuine, that is Kelly Kennedy, that is coming from Capital Business Development. Many other years with Capital Business Development, I would create really nice padfolios embroidered with the Capital Business Development logo, and we would send those out to all the clients. Why? Because the whole point of them hiring me was to get meetings. And so why not have beautiful padfolios to take to those meetings? So think about it from that standpoint. If you can get personal, if you can give them something that isn't just a cookie cutter piece of junk like a lot of companies are giving. Unfortunately, a lot of companies are ordering swag from these absolute crap companies. It's coming back. It's just junk. It's probably going to be broken in a couple days, a couple weeks, whatever it is. There's so much crap out there, guys. Think about, what can I give that is quality, that is going to represent me, my company in a great way, right? And guys, I'm not saying you can't, give coffee mugs or you can't do things like that. Just understand, everything you give is a reflection of you, your company, and how much you care about that person. Think about that. Think about that before you give them a piece of junk plastic pen. Okay? Yes, I'm talking to a lot of companies out there who are giving away total garbage because they don't understand. They're not thinking about it from a standpoint of, how can I give something of quality and value that somebody is going to value and remember us with? They're thinking, how do I get as much of my crap with my logo out there as possible? That is not the way to go about it, guys. Quality over quantity always. We talk about it when we're designing brochures, right? We want something that's visually engaging, high quality, that's going to scream, we know what we're doing, we're trustworthy, we're dependable. When you're giving away your, 50-cent plastic piece of junk pen with your logo on it, that is not doing you any favors, okay? Take the time. Take the time when identifying the right client gift to give. Try to tie it back to something that is genuinely unique to you, that connects, that is a connection point between you and that client, that is relevant to you and that client, and maybe even the work that you do together. Gifts with meaning that are meaningful, they have that much more power behind them. The quality of that gift, it really can be the difference between being something that is memorable forever and something that's going to be junk in the trash bin 2 weeks from now. So think about that before you give something next time. It doesn't have to be expensive. Understand, I'm not saying expensive. Quality does not mean expensive. It means thoughtful. It means finding something that makes sense. And yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the time that can cost a little bit more. But trust me, that little bit more is worth it 9 times out of 10, okay? Avoid junk. It doesn't have to be expensive. The more personal you can make it, the more unique you can make it. That is the secret. It is actually November 19th of 2024 right now in this recording. What does that mean? We are about 9 or 10 days away from Black Friday. And yes, Black Friday has penetrated Canada. It is no longer a United States only holiday. I would say Black Friday has actually surpassed Boxing Day at this point in Canada. It's pretty crazy how fast it took hold. However, there is an incredible thing about Black Friday. Black Friday means that you can get some of the best deals of the year on almost anything you want to buy, and you can do it in a time frame that allows you to buy incredible client gifts at a discount and still be able to wrap them, create a nice card, and get them to your clients ahead of Christmas, guys. It is great. It is great. And let me tell you, early on in my business development career, we recognized this. And what we started doing was we would do client gift shopping on Black Friday. So we would have a list. We'd have our list ready to go of what we were looking for and how many client gifts we needed. And we would be hitting the stores. It was either me or a couple other colleagues. We hitting the stores Friday morning on Black Friday to pick up client gifts, guys. And on a certain level, I've been doing this ever since. May not be as much, but I almost always buy something for clients on Black Friday. It is an incredible, incredible time. And if you are hearing this and it is live this week, that means you still have lots of time to go out and do this. So if you're looking for, ideas on how to get these client gifts, how to get them at a discount, Black Friday, guys, it is the secret. Start making it like a annual corporate holiday to go and pick out client gifts for your clients. Especially if you're buying tech, especially if you're buying like microphones, cameras, anything like that, always discounted. Always the right time to do it is Black Friday. All right, we have gone out. We've shopped well. We've gotten something that's personal, high quality. The client is going to love it. What is next? Next, we have to write a personalized card. We have to write a card, guys. The card is super, super meaningful. And if you guys are like me, I've had trouble writing my whole life, but we live in this incredible time where we can type. We can absolutely type. Do not be afraid to type up a card. We've been creating our Christmas cards at Capital Business Development for the last 5 years. Literally, we've been creating them in-house. I make my own. I've seen some pretty great alternatives. Actually, one of our sponsors at Work Office Furniture, Rodney Lover, sent me a Cardly card last year and introduced me to the founder and CEO of Cardly, Patrick Gaskin. Guys, Cardly is incredible. If you guys just want to outsource your Christmas card making, do it on Cardly. It is super, super amazing. They have a font that's like a perfect handwrite. When you get it, you can't distinguish that it was not handwritten by an individual. It's actually a font, but it looks like perfect handwriting. So do not be afraid to use a company like Cardly this year to get your cards done. They do cards around the world. They're based out of Australia, but they're very much North America and around the world. So don't be afraid to use a company like Cardly if you just want to outsource that. Don't be afraid to pick up your own card stock. Staples in Canada has some. I'm not sure in the US where you might go, but probably any office supply store is going to have card stock that you can create and print your own cards with. Don't be afraid to design your own card. It's awesome. We've been doing it for years. I love it. It's personal. I can type up each message myself. Takes almost no time at all. Or if you're old school, and I don't mean old school, guys. I have nothing against a handwritten card. They are incredible for those that have beautiful handwriting. If you have beautiful handwriting and you like to write your own cards, guys, there is nothing more authentic than handwriting your own Christmas card to a client at Christmas, guys. There's nothing better. If you have this skill, do not be afraid to go to the store, buy Christmas cards, and handwrite your own message for that real nice touch, guys. But either way, you need to accompany the gift with a message. And do not be afraid to be vulnerable. Do not be afraid to be thankful, to show them how much you mean to them in those cards, guys. It is an incredible way to communicate. And guess what? Your clients probably only receive like a handful of cards every year, and most of them are from their family and people that care about them. So if you send them a card, what does that mean? It shows them you care about them. That's the whole point. Number 4, we need to ship and deliver. We need to get these things logistically to the right places. And if you're like me and you have clients across Canada, across North America, this can start to be challenging, okay? If you have to ship, make sure that we're starting to get this stuff early. Make sure that we wrap our presents. Why? Because Who doesn't like opening a gift, right? It doesn't matter if it came in the mail. Wrap it, guys. Wrap it. It makes all the difference. If you are shipping, make sure that they are in the mail by December 10th at the latest, guys. Christmas in Canada is bonkers. Christmas in the United States, bonkers. If you want to make sure that your gift is going to get there on time, we need to get these things in the mail. This year's going to be a tough one for Canada. Canada Post, our main post service, is on strike. Yay. Thanks for picking the worst time ever. Obviously, very strategic, but damn it, is it going to cause problems this Christmas? So we're going to have to start looking at Purolator, FedEx, and maybe some of the other solutions in the US. Use whatever you need, but make sure that these gifts are getting in the mail by December 10th at the latest. For a personal touch, guys, if your clients are local, if you typically work local and everybody you worked with this year is in the same city, same town, hand deliver these things. Hand deliver these things. It is incredible. Nobody on earth won't take the time to see you if you tell them that you have a client gift to drop off for them. Everybody will take 5 minutes to chat with you. It's a great way to build an authentic connection, to strengthen a connection. If you can hand deliver these things, do it. It is worth it every single time. And lastly, guys, pat yourself on the back. You did it. You stood out. You stood out. You built authentic human connection in a time when nobody is prioritizing that. This is the way. The way moving forward is to be more human-centric. Be a human. Stand out. Give a gift. Create a relationship. Build a relationship. It is going to change business for you forever. And if nothing else, you're going to feel amazing because you know what? Giving feels good. Christmas is a great time to give back to the incredible clients who support you all year long. Remember, even if you or your clients don't celebrate Christmas, they still appreciate the thought. Everybody appreciates being cared about. Everybody appreciates being thought of. Take the time. Gifting is an amazing way to build a personal connection with your clients. Do not miss this once per year opportunity to share your humanity. All right, guys, that takes us to the end of the show. And we're doing something a little different this week. I'm actually going to go into the show updates and shout outs at the end. I know we always typically do show updates at the beginning, but after some conversation, I'm going to try to do it this way for a little bit. We are sitting at 224,000 downloads. We have 2,990 followers on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you are looking for ways to support this show that don't cost a dime, give us a follow if you're not currently following. Tell a friend, family member, colleague. This show, that is how we grow. We grow through word of mouth. We grow through recommendation. It is other rock stars telling new rock stars. So please do that for us. It helps us grow. We have community questions coming up next week, guys. November community questions is coming up here next Wednesday. If you want to get questions in ahead of that show, guys, shoot them on over to podcast@capitalbd.ca or shoot me a DM over LinkedIn. We will definitely get those added ahead of the show. And remember, guys, if you are hearing this show and you need business development support, you have a team that needs business development support, or heck, you just need a little bit of motivation and encouragement to keep going and do the things you need to do, the Business Development Mastery Program is for you guys. It is a 3-month program, 6 sessions over those 3 months. We're going to talk about target list creation. We're going to talk about personal branding. We're going to talk about how do we use CRM effectively. We're going to talk about how do we achieve our actual growth goals in 2025 and beyond. And guys, I am going to support you through it the entire way. If you have any challenges in business development, by the end, you will have a structure. You will know what to do and when to do it to continue to move the needle forward. Feel free to book a discovery call with me by going to capitalbd.ca and clicking on the coaching and following the path that takes you on. Or go to LinkedIn, click Amplify Your Impact under my profile picture, and sign up for a free discovery call, and we will see you then. Shout outs this week: Jen Bieri, Adam Kimmel, Deanna Keene, Rodney Lover, Colin Harms, Raphael Servan, Jillian Schecker, Daniel Sonnenberg, Brian Hayes, Mark Mendoza, Jason Chakalakal, Gary Noseworthy, Jan Hanat, Amin Samji, Chris Small, Irina Horyacheva, Jemiah Zajal, Aaron Haberman, Jory Evans, Sean Suley, Jesse Shuchuk, Carmen LaBelle, Luana Burns, William Silva, Michelle Sammy Weeb, Nate Simpson, and Susan Paseka. Until next time, this has been the Business Development Podcast, and we will catch you on the flip side.
This has been the Business Development Podcast with Kelly Kennedy. Kelly has 15 years in sales and business development experience within the Alberta oil and gas industry and founded his own business development firm in 2020. His passion and his specialization is in customer relationship generation and business development. The show is brought to you by Capital Business Development, your business development specialists. For more, we invite you to the website at www.capitalbd.ca. See you next time on the Business Development Podcast.